Morning, boys and girls. It is Miss Wilkinson here, and welcome to your first online history lesson. This half term, we're going to be learning all about ancient Egypt. I have placed on the front there what would normally go in the front of your history books for this topic. So I'm going to read out the key vocabulary down the left-hand side. Don't worry if you haven't heard of any of these words before. We are going to learn about them in the coming weeks. So down the key vocabulary, we have the words civilization, irrigation, silt, hieroglyphics, Rosetta Stone, mummification, Tutankhamun, and tomb. And this lesson, we're going to think about where and when did people start to build towns and cities. And your learning objective is to name ancient civilizations and think about similarities and differences between life then and now. The word similarity means the same as. Ancient is very, very old. But what does civilization mean? Civilization is a group of people that create a settlement. We live in a civilization now. And it's a group of people that have their own way of doing things, their own cultures, have their own language, way of communication. They all dress in a certain way. They will have their own religion, their own diet, or foods, particular foods that they eat, or particular foods that they do not eat, and have their own laws. Now this is a map of the world from all the way back to 3,500 BC. Now just think for a moment what BC means. Did you get it? It was before Christ, and that was when the first major ancient civilization existed. Now, if you look closely at this map, you cannot see Great Britain. I'm going to ring it for you there. Now, it looks this way. We discussed this a lot in our last topic, the Stone Age, because it has not yet separated from other countries. Let's have a look at these coloured ancient civilizations. The oldest one is ancient Sumer, not ancient Sumer, ancient Sumer. And I'm going to tell you one interesting fact about each of these civilizations. So ancient Sumer was very important to us today because it had an effect on the time system that we use. They were the civilization that based time around the number 60. So we have 60 seconds in a minute. We have 60 minutes in an hour. The next civilization, which is the yellow one, is ancient Egypt. And this was important. This civilization is important to us today. It created one of the first types of paper, which we're going to learn. We're going to learn a lot more about ancient Egypt in the coming weeks. The orange one, which is the smaller country of the two, they both look quite similar on there, is Indus Valley. And they were important to us today as they came up with a system for numbers and maths. And finally, the last civilization on there was the Shang Dynasty. And they developed ways of using bronze for weapons and art. Now, all of these civilizations existed at similar time zones, which we're going to have a look at now. Okay, so the first one, along the bottom is a timeline. If you look at the very left-hand side, we've got 3,500 BC, which is over here. This is 3,500 BC. And if you follow the timeline along, we've got 0 AD here, and all the way up to where we are, or round about where we are today. So ancient Sumer was developed in 3500 BC up to 2000 BC. I just want you now to have a look, see if you can put one finger at 3500 BC and follow all the way along, see if you can find 2000 BC, and that is where ancient Sumer, that's how long it existed, or round about how long it existed. The next one's ancient Egypt, which was 3100 BC. See if you can find that along the timeline now. Oh, and that went all the way up to 550 BC. So you have to go all the way along there. Let's pop ancient Egypt on our timeline. Now they are different timelines because they are in different countries. So as you can see, ancient Sumer and part of ancient Egypt existed at the same time in different countries. The next one is Indus Valley. Have a look and see if you can find the date 2600 BC. All the way along to 1300 BC. And there's that timeline there for Indus Valley. And finally, Shang Dynasty, which is 1140 BC, which is a little bit trickier to find. Just have a roundabout look, to 10,046 BC. That goes in there. Now, all of these ancient civilizations were built around rivers. I want you to pause me for a moment now and just have a think about why you think that was. Okay, did any of you get they needed to be around rivers for water? So obviously to drink, to help the earth stay healthy for crops and food, and to be able to wash and to clean themselves. Okay, boys and girls, you have 2 tasks today. Your first task is to create a timeline that shows the 4 ancient civilizations. So you can use my timeline. If you pause the video on my timeline, you can do something similar to that if you would like. You can cut up pieces of paper and stick those down at different lengths to show how long the civilizations existed, which ones came first. You can write the dates on the paper, and you can write the names of the civilizations on there. It is completely up to you how you do it. If you are really stuck, please just do one similar to mine. Your second task, which is the purple one here, is to follow the link, which I'm going to add on to Teams and to the school website, and watch the video about ancient Egypt. And I want you to write down any similarities, so anything that's the same, and any differences between life then and now. I am looking forward to seeing what you come up with. You can do this in your home learning book. If possible, take a photo of it and email it in to us. Myself and Mr. Howell would love to see what you have come up with, and hopefully we can get some of these shared on our Facebook page. Hopefully I will see you all soon. Bye.